Well, I might not know when life begins or ends, but I know when that video ended and yeah, it died. So sorry about that. Part two. God, no, we're talking about God. We're talking about no, we're talking about psychopathy, zero empathy philosophy, and what was that other part? Yeah, yeah, and evil. I don't know, deep stuff, but this is the whole framing of the video. Where we left off, I guess, is when psychopath, and my understanding is it's, for the sake of argument though, more or less at birth, it's like being born with two. I look at psychopathy. You're born. It's like being born with two toes. It's like that just was going to happen. It was just going to happen. You're born with two toes. Born with the wiring that made you, a person that cannot understand empathy as a notion. You don't even have any of it. Okay, zero. So, and this is why I just get back to like, I don't know. I just think it's so balanced. I don't know. Because those people teach you lessons. If you can survive, I'll use the word an evil person. I don't know what other word can you describe? What other word can you use to describe an individual? And this is real. We can't kill an individual. Wants someone to be in pain. Like they want you to be in pain. They want to hurt you. And this is the point. This isn't a choice. A psychopath wants to hurt you. It's just because they don't care. It's not like it's indifference. It's worse than, like, it can be worse than wanting to actually hurt someone. They don't care. So if they hurt you, it's like, it's almost like they think, I don't care about you so much. I could care less. So the fact that you are in pain, I can see you're in pain. It's power. That's the only way you can frame psychopath. So how is that? I don't know how other word to describe that other than evil. And they know something's wrong with them, but obviously there's self-preservation. That's one thing a psychopath has more than anybody else. Boundaries. A psychopath will never do something. That's how you can out a psychopath. See if they'll do something that is self-sacrificial. Or they'd have to admit to something. They'd have to admit to being wrong. That's a big one. That's a lot. That's all the cluster B's. That is the catalyst for a lot of pain. Not accepting when someone's wrong, not being able to look at them being wrong, because that's part of, that's the what do you call it? Is part of the contradiction. It's a contradictory notion within the psyche for an individual to accept being wrong about something and still hold the view that of whatever it is in their psyche. So a narcissist, any of that, because it would break their psyche. It just doesn't add up. It's not even like, the idea of someone changing or not is irrelevant in this instance. I.e., you might think, oh, well, a psychopath, yeah, they can't change its wiring. Okay, fine. A narcissist, well, they can technically, well, for the sake of argument, just say high level narcissism, not NPD, which technically is incurable, whatever. But for the sake of argument, you think, oh, someone who's super narcissist, someone who's really like harmful. Let's just say harmful. Someone that isn't diagnosed, that they are, a hurtful person. The whole range of human intent and personality disorders and harm and delusion and all that, right? you might think I'm losing my train of thought here. I'm going a little bit far. The oh, accepting responsibility, being able to admit when they're wrong. That's what we're talking about. So you might, when I say that, I think, okay, if they can admit what they're wrong, that's my hopefulness. That's the hope. That's the thing that gets you in trouble right there. As somebody who tries to care and tries to fix, I still do it. So I just did it. Where you're like, oh well, that yeah, they eventually if they can see, and they can admit that they're wrong, that is beside the point. It's the psyche. We're talking about the psyche. The reason you can't admit you're wrong is because the whole thing breaks. So the whole system, it's a paradox. It has nothing to do with them changing or not. It's the very, I'm talking about the chicken, the egg. Oh, how do I put this? It's the very framing of the personality disorder is that they can't look at them not being this, the way we all look at ourselves, their shadow, whatever you want to call it, the psyche. Let's talk about the psyche. The way their psyche, all the wiring, whatever that is in the psyche, the whole thing, I guess more specifically, shadow, that would be correct. The shadow self. No, it's bigger than that. It's the whole psyche and everything that is involved. Everything. Can't look at being wrong. That breaks it. And so it's very clear that if you can't admit you're wrong, there's just so much. It's like the biggest red flag there is when people can't accept responsibility. That's why I can go even deeper rabbit hole, a philosophical rabbit hole. Get into gender about that because I inevitably think about women and men and how we differ. We differ in that regard. I'm not saying no woman can accept that they're wrong. I don't know. There's a big one actually. Big distinction. Went a little misogynist. I actually did. I'll admit it. There's a difference between a psychopath and a narcissist. Male, female, doesn't matter, right? Not admitting that they're wrong. That's psychological. A female, it says, it doesn't. They admit to themselves that they're wrong. They won't admit to you that they're wrong. That's the difference. Big difference too. Not to say that there aren't women who don't do either, then that's a psychopathic woman. It's a whole different thing. But my bad. I try to put everything in a neat little bun but yeah, yeah. That's the distinction. Now I think there's a lot more women that unfortunately don't even admit to themselves that they're wrong. And that is a problem. That is a problem with psyche. That's a big difference than the stubborn woman, the woman who won't admit to you, and that's nature. That's beautiful. That's balanced. That's fine. That's the healthy tug of war we play as men and women. But that was on a tangent there. Anyway, this part 2 might be a little bit off the rails. So a psychopath, I just don't know, like, and this is really what I wanted to get at in this video. It's just this, I'm going to try and like pose a question, I guess. I'm going to try and just get this out. I don't know how I can get it out of my brain, but so a psychopath is born, like we're all born and we all have this things like who we are and like, we didn't get to choose any of this stuff. And I can't help, but like, I don't know how it can be like, it can't just be as simple as just nature and just the roll of the dice of your genes. Like, it can't just be that, right? We are energy. We have, as human beings, we have free will, and we have such, I don't know, like, I don't know. It just doesn't seem to me that we could. It just, things are just happening. This is the, maybe get into religion. I don't know. Whatever, philosophy, whatever. I don't know where we're going, but like, I just can't wrap my head around a psychopath being born. What did they do wrong? I don't know how else to think about it other than a previous life. I don't know. I like that. Maybe it's just me. It's probably delusional. I like the idea of choosing your energy for the next life, or for, if this is the one and only life, you got to pick that path, or a higher power put you in that position to have the universe experience itself or something. I don't know. Like, I just, maybe it's some grandiose thing, or like some Cassandra complex, or some like, ultimately, but I don't look at it as a fear-based thing. I don't fear not believing in an act. Like, I don't, it doesn't matter one way or another. I don't know. There's no, like, it's like silly to be afraid of death. You weren't afraid before you were born. It's exactly the same thing. I don't understand. It's all ego. I mean, I do understand, but it is all ego, and so I, and that's so. Having said that, like, I don't. It just doesn't seem as random as just getting. Human beings are way too different. I don't think, do squirrels have this? This video might be getting ridiculous, but I'm just whatever. But any animal, any non-human, like, I don't believe anything is even close to us. So like, we are separate, and it's like, do squirrels, like, how? Yeah, Brad and Jim, squirrel one, squirrel two. They're two dudes. Brad and Jim, they're hanging out. One likes the other acorn. The other one likes this acorn. They both fight it out for the acorn, and Brad gets to fuck Karen, and Jim doesn't. And then now we got a bunch of Brad squirrels. They're basically the same goddamn squirrel. One squirrel got a nut. Like, maybe I'm making the worst analogy ever, but you know what I'm trying to get at. Like, they're not. I just don't. Human beings, we have the range of psychological, how we relate to each other, and it's not all instinct. That's the big thing. So it's like, what I'm doing right now, I'm working it out. It's a curse to work stuff out. The squirrel didn't have to work anything out. They're just, they fuck, they eat. It's great life. So I don't know. I don't think a squirrel can be evil. There's no such thing as an evil squirrel. It'd be a cool like anime though. All right, get a little ADHD. I'm gonna make some steaks. Probably end the video here. There's no such thing as an evil squirrel. That's what I'm gonna title the video. Hopefully this that was about 25 minutes. Hopefully it wasn't. It's just something I wanted to talk about, as far as like, yeah, people with no empathy. Like, that's basically the question. Got off the rails with the squirrel thing, but like, how do you wrap your head around someone born without empathy? Why did they get that position? They didn't ask for it. They're just a psychopath. They're going to destroy. Like, I can't help but think that person exists to teach lessons to people, and people that were teaching each other lessons, and like, and those people are harmful. And how are they not bad? They're bad. It hurts. But what is bad? What is good? What is evil? Yeah, maybe it isn't. See, I always go in a circle. Maybe that's not evil. That's just they were doing life, destroying people, healing people, doing immense damage, but also waking people up. I don't know. I gotta eat something though, so let me know what you guys think. If this video, what do you think about? I guess there's no answer. let me know though. Do you guys believe in evil? Do you believe in evil? Do you believe in God? Do you believe in evil? Do you believe in reincarnation? Do you believe in squirrels? Talk to you guys later.